I want to first start off by saying my condolences go out to the family members and those who were affected by the untimely death of George Floyd. But I want to tell you, the enemy is manipulating this situation, paving the way with lawlessness for the lawless one. Take a moment and listen and view this video, and I guarantee you it'll open your eyes and your ears to what is going on.
Punch in the gut. A restaurant owner betrayed an owner who's helped those during the pandemic, and one of the very people he looked out for potentially took advantage of him.
Take a look at this video. It shows that money being stolen as a robber held staff at gunpoint. Another man jumps the counter, and they're in and out in what seems like seconds. This happened last night. The employee at the counter tells me she recognized one of the men. He had apparently stopped by for free food before.
He was like, I'm so sorry, this coronavirus got us messed up, I'm so sorry. I was like, it's okay, take what you need, we're good.
I understand that, but I wish they would have done things much differently. I wish they would have just said, hey, I know you guys helped me with food, is there anything I can do for some money?
Is in a state of emergency this morning, and the National Guard has been called in to maintain peace and safety. We have live team coverage this morning, starting with CBS 2's Joy Benedict in downtown LA. Good morning, Joy.
Good morning, Amy. That's right. It really is just very sad to see what has happened to downtown Los Angeles for so many who are used to being down here. I mean, the graffiti is everywhere. The places are boarded. Windows are broken. We're in front of MedMen. I was here a couple of years ago when they opened this store. I mean, look at it. The glass is broken. This is just one of several businesses that they were able to get into last night and loot, taking everything off the shelves. And that has been the story now all weekend long. But take a look at this video from last night as the protests quickly turned violent here in this community. This police officer's car was set fire last night during all of these protests. The protests began early, but again, you have to remember that it was 8 p.m. when they told everyone that there was a curfew and they were supposed to leave the area. That did not happen as planned, and that is when a lot of this erupted. Of course, with all the violence also came arrests. Take a look at this video also from last night in downtown. We're told about 1,000 people were arrested in the overnight hours here in the city of Los Angeles. Officers tell me they found a group of about 150 people all together who were actually in a caravan in their cars. So not part of the protest, not demonstrators, but people who were coming into downtown just simply to break in, to loot, to cause problems.
Why do people commit crimes so readily? Ecclesiastes 8:11 explains, when people see criminals commit crime after crime without being punished, they lose their fear of punishment. They let down their restraints, and they join the merry band of wickedness.
Well, I really don't have to say much about what took place here in the streets of Chicago last night. All you have to do is look around, and through this mask I can actually smell a lot of the debris and all of that. This used to be a CVS drugstore. As you can see, everything here has been smashed. Windows all broken down. As you mentioned, we're not very far from the Magnificent Mile shopping area. Just this way is the Merchandise Mart, another famous Chicago landmark. The Trump Tower Hotel is just down here. And some people, of course, left some messages for the men and women in blue here.
When there is no swift contradiction or opposition to those who do evil, the heart's desire of the children of humanity is turned and fully determined to do evil. A lack of swift punishment gives encouragement to those who would not normally commit criminal activity to start a life of crime. Isaiah 5:20 states a warning of danger to those who perpetrate this delusion of ease. Your Creator declares, woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil, that put darkness for light, and light for darkness. These criminal acts of violence are a setup. This is part of the final battle strategy. paving the way for the lawless one to appear. The individuals committing these senseless acts are puppets. And people living in these neighborhoods, who join in with this mayhem and chaos, calling evil good, and darkness light, are completely blind to this strategy of the enemy. Creating chaos, destroying the only source where we receive our essential supplies, such as food, water, and medicine.
But while people are dying, others are partying.
Look at all these people.
In this viral Facebook video, you can see people standing shoulder to shoulder at a house party in Chicago last night.
You talking about get here, can't nobody else fit.
This is an alarming trend that religious freedom monitors say is turning churches and other houses of worship around the world into houses of horror. Mr. Chairman, tell me what the world saw over the past year in terms of attacks against houses of worship.
Well, Jennifer, the situation has gotten to a point where these attacks on houses of worship have grown in their frequency. And it's concerning, where we see a lot of this happening in Europe. We see it happening globally. And it's very disheartening when you see a house of worship, which should be a place of peace, a sanctuary, a place that honors God and allows you to worship Him as you see fit. These are turning into houses of horror.
Now, protests, which started out peaceful, turned into riots by early evening. People smashed the windows of several stores on State and then looted those businesses. A Walgreens at Randolph and LaSalle was also hit. Rioters set cars on fire throughout downtown. They overturned squad cars, set squad cars on fire. In one confrontation in River North, protesters surrounded a single officer before he was able to get into his vehicle and get away. Police Superintendent David Brown says people threw rocks, bottles, Molotov cocktails at officers. One officer, he says, suffered multiple broken bones.
The Apostle John warns in the book of Revelations, the 13th chapter. He writes, "And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them, and power was given him over all nationalities, and tongues, and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world." If anyone has an ear, let them hear. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. John further writes, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spoke as a dragon. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he does great wonders, so that he makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of humanity, and deceives them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads. And that no one might buy or sell, except they that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. The wisdom in what is taking place right now is this. The looting and destruction have an appearance of good, but it is evil to its core. The enemy is shutting off your supplies, your transportation. Why? To pave the way for the beast and his system of a one-world government, with a one-world leader. If we cannot buy goods from the stores which dwell in our neighborhoods, where do we get our essential goods from?
I came across these atheists the other day in a video that was released a while back called "The Godless Church and Atheists Taking the U.S. by Storm." Now, given that I haven't heard of these churches until now, means that they either failed to live up to the title of the video, or they have a really bad marketing team. But that aside, in the video we learn about atheists who are creating godless churches all around the world.
These are people who live in public housing, and you just made a melee. You took down bus routes. There are people who live in this neighborhood who have to go back uptown to work. And you are here because you're out here being responsible. Have a plan. You can protest all you want, but the I just saw take place. I know there are people out here, homeless people, who rely on those banks to charge their loans. And you think it's okay to take down a neighborhood? You don't see corporations here. There are human beings that live in this neighborhood. You do this in Harlem, you do this in Brooklyn, and I swear on everything. These people in this neighborhood deserve better. And I'm not talking about the gentrification. I'm not talking about students who come here and pay cash to go to NYU. I am talking about the people who go to a methadone clinic down the street. And you think this is a protest? I gave my blood, sweat, and tears for this country. I served this country for 10 years. Thank you. So when you think about this anger and this rage, because there's a way to get answers. So do me a favor, to every single person out here protesting, remember, there's 3 homeless men who rely on that as a charging station. And what? Will it even work now? For the sake of what? So you can go back home to your comforts.
And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads. And that no one might buy or sell, except they that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Jesus is about to return. Will you be ready?